Yo, what's going on, man? It's your boy Ricky the CEO, and this is season 1, episode 4 of the Packed House Live podcast. And I got a boss, a lady boss today, a real lady boss, man. She's getting to it. She is the CEO of Bread, a unique pop-up market, and she has a location at the Maplewood Mall and the Northtown Mall out here in Minnesota. Super legendary, giving a lot of people opportunities. Marsha, how you doing, Marsha?
What's up, Ricky? I'm great. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you, coming on such short notice and
Yeah,
blessing us with your presence, because you really I got a lot of respect for you. Got a lot of respect for what you do. So I think this is gonna be great. I think it's gonna be
thank
great.
you.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
So tell us a little bit about your business, Bread, a unique
Okay.
pop-up market. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes. Yes. So I started Bread, a unique pop-up market, in November of 2020.
Hmm.
So we just hit a year this year.
Congratulations.
And thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And Bread is a unique story. It comes from many different aspects of my life, from childhood and having parents and grandparents who are immigrants from a different country
Hmm.
to having a Black child
Yep,
who are limited to opportunities.
for sure.
And so I just knew and most importantly found that um, when you don't have opportunities, you have to create them somehow.
For sure.
And that's really kind of how Bread came about.
That's what's up.
But what we are is we are a unique pop-up market.
Hmm.
And so we are in two of Twin Cities' most busiest malls right now. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's really kind of how it kind of came, and we're still growing.
Yeah.
It's growing right now.
Explain a little bit more about exactly what the pop-up market is and what it consists of.
Yeah. So I am Hmong, and growing up, so familiar with the farmers market here in the Twin Cities. We have one of the largest populations of Hmong people,
Hmm.
refugees, and we have a lot of shopping hubs. We have Hmong Village, Hmong Town. There's quite a few different spaces in the Twin Cities, and what we've begun to do is really utilize our network to support each other.
Yep.
And so my people have been one of the fastest growing, I would say, like minorities in the Twin Cities, because we have these hubs, we have these incubators to really support each other. So we really shop and support each other.
Hmm.
Bread, a unique pop-up market, it's a similar concept. We're really like an incubator.
Yep.
We provide spaces at a very low cost to small business owners who want to take their brand to a different stage, get into their own brick and mortar
Hmm.
or their own retail spaces.
Yep. That's what's up. And I've been to both of them, man, and it's set up in there. How many businesses do you have in the stores right now in Northtown and Maplewood?
In total, we probably have about 20 plus brands all
That's dope.
together in both stores. I have maybe about 12 different brands in Maplewood, and then approximately about 8 to 9 in Northtown currently right now.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Congratulations, man. You really helping
Thank you.
people out and giving them an opportunity to be in the mall first and foremost and run their business and learn from you and grow together. Because I
Mhm.
always say we're stronger together than we are apart. And bringing all that talent in one building, it's no other option but for it to blow up at some point. So
For
I want
sure.
to I want to go back just a little bit. So I want to know about your upbringing and how was your life growing up?
Yeah, yeah. So I grew up in Wisconsin,
Okay.
and I had the greatest businesswoman was my grandmother.
Okay.
And
Dope.
so I learned a lot. I learned a lot about just customer service,
Hmm.
dealing with folks, just really having the stability of a strong life from
Hmm.
her.
That's dope.
I just really grew up with a lot of entrepreneurs. My parents were entrepreneurs. My dad
Okay.
was a very successful businessman.
Okay. That's
Um,
what's up.
so like I was in this, this is really kind of what I was meant to be.
For
So,
sure.
I think when you have that, so like when you're surrounded by that, you have no other choice but to breed that, right?
100%.
And so, really, my childhood was just about like getting money, like life lessons. And trust me, my parents had a grocery store when I was young. Imagine at the age of like 6, and you're up there, you're up there stocking canned goods. You know what I'm saying? Like the weirdest stuff, or even like picking cucumbers for like for school clothes. Like
that's cool. That's a
yeah,
cool story. I haven't heard that ever. So that's a really cool story.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think a lot of, just that's why it's so important, right? Even as adults, you have to surround yourself with folks that are better than you, or where you see yourself that you want to be at. So I just had a very, very humbling experience. And then I got married to my ex-husband, who was Black, who grew up in Chicago. And his mom then moved to Milwaukee for a better life. And I think seeing, the disparities of what Black people go through and the opportunities that are very limited, that really kind of molded me to be really who I am, for sure. And that's why for me, I do this for my kid. So
100%. I see that tattoo in your hand. Let's see that one time. Y'all,
oh yeah.
I didn't know you had it tatted. Tell us a little bit about Aniki, man. That's her son. You got a dope brand. Tell us a little bit about his brand too.
Yeah, so my son's name is Aniki Allen.
I'm sorry. I butchered his name. Sorry, okay. Aniki.
You trust me, he goes through that all the time. But he is 14, and he started his business when he was 9.
Okay. Wow.
That's so dope. Yeah. Just a very. He was always just a very very just busy kid. Always kind of got into things. And one year my little brothers and him had got him some Legos. And as he evolved and just became better with it over time, he started creating all these things. And so he made this Lego bow tie. Oh, yeah. And that's just kind of how he grew from it. And his journey himself has taught him a lot about life and business as well. For sure. And then last year in 2020, he actually started his own clothing line, which is called Aniki Allen.
And that's the logo that you got on your hand, right?
Yeah, that's one of the logos. But, it stems from like Aniki Allen and ice cream bow ties. It stems from like the disparities of folks of colors and the opportunities that we don't know. Because we're going through a trademark process right now, and that's why he's transitioning everything over to just his name. Right. I don't know if I shared this story with you, Ricky. Like ice cream bow ties, we didn't get our trademark. Okay. Because Pharrell, the musician, the artist, the producer, Pharrell, Happy Pharrell. Yeah. He actually owns ice cream clothing, I believe.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, ice creams. I remember him rapping about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so because there's already ice cream falls into clothing, we weren't able to get that trademark. And again, if you know these things, and this is something I always share with a lot of small business owners that are starting off, like make sure you go check out the trademark first. Exactly. Go check that out, because you're going to go through all this process, LLC, all of this, and then you can't even trademark anything if you really wanted to. No, for sure. So that's my baby. He's been going hard with a lot of things, and his dad and I are working towards a lot of things for him, but it's just really a lifestyle, brand for him, as he's grown into a young man, and just really paving the way for a lot of other young entrepreneurs as well.
I love that. You passing it down just like, your parents passed it down to you, and he's going to be able to pass it down to his kids one day. So y'all are really building generational wealth, and that's beautiful. Yeah. That's really beautiful. So tell me, I always want to hear obstacles. I don't know, there's something wrong with me. I like to hear the obstacles and then how we got through it. So tell me a time that you wanted to give up and her video went out.
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay,
Go ahead.
No problem. Tell me a time, you wanted to give up and what kept you motivated, or what's that thing that makes you just keep waking up and keep pushing every single day?
Oh my God. Like, I think I think every day is like, like Nip says, everything, it's a marathon, right?
100%.
Once you get to the finish line, you start a new race.
Yep.
Right. And I'm really understanding that, because for me, I like to use the terminology journey.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But like when you put it in the perspective of Nip,
Yep.
I'm gonna hit the finish line, but then my other marathon is going to be way longer than this one,
100%.
or I might have to make hurdles, right? So I think for me, every day is always like that. Damn, you wake up and you think that, but for me, because I'm in my first year of business, or my getting into my first year of business, you have these all the time. There's been many times where I'm like, I want to just give up,
Right.
because this is so hard.
Yeah, I know the
like
feeling.
there is no blueprint to really having a business, right? Like you just never know. And that's the thing, that whenever I meet a fellow entrepreneur or small business, I'm like, yo, major kudos to you, because man, I know what the hell you going through, right?
For sure.
Exactly. But I think the most important thing for me is dealing with people.
Right. It's tough.
That's
relying on people. That's the relying on people.
Yeah. Yeah. Relying and definitely dealing with folks, because like, I always try to come from a very fair and integrity space. You know what I mean? But like sometimes my fear and my integrity may be different from the other person. What I think may be right may be necessarily wrong to the other person, right? So I think understanding folks from the face value of who they are and how they feel. But I think my most challenging thing is just really learning how to deal. And I don't even know if dealing is the right word, but like really working with people. Let me take that back. Really working
collaborating.
with
people. Just finding that middle ground.
Working with folks and relying on them. I think that's been the most hardest part for me as an entrepreneur.
Sure. I get it. So what keeps you motivated? What keeps you like, I gotta do it. I can't give up. I gotta keep pushing forward.
I think just leaving a legacy for, folks as like Hmong women, they're in my culture, it's super sexist. It's super sexist. There's a lot of, politics when it comes down to like, the woman role, as Hmong women in that role. And so I think for me, just being able to conquer everything that they said I couldn't, right?
I love that.
And going for everything that has my name on it. And really what keeps me motivated a lot is really my son. I look at him and I just want to make sure that he doesn't have to go through, the stuff that we go through, or the stuff that, you see what's going on happening with social media, or just in the media, happening to Black men. I just don't ever want my son to ever go through that. And so I just really, that keeps me super grounded.
Respect.
Yeah.
I love leaving a legacy for the next generation, man. Yeah. Everybody, E.T., I know we was talking about E.T. before. He always talks about having a why. You got to have a why that's bigger than you, for you to just get through this stuff, because it's not easy. It's extremely hard to build, building your own business, but then, trying to have your own life at the same time and, be happy, all like overall. It's a journey. It's definitely a journey.
Definitely.
So you got to have those things that, keep you grounded. So what can we expect from Marsha how you say your last name? Magdalene?
Yeah, Magdalene.
Gotcha. From 2022, what can we expect in 2022?
I don't even know. It's just so much. Like, I know 2022 is just, it's nothing. It's like, I've had a lot of opportunities for expansion and growth, but I'm, really kind of taking a step back to kind of really fine tune and recreate what bread is all about, the SOPs of that, and how to really be strong, but definitely expansion.
For sure.
That's growth. It. Yes. Expansion, growth, building strong economies all over the country. I know that the concept of bread really works. It's a proven system because we're still here. We've birthed many small, successful entrepreneurs and small businesses that have come through bread. And so I'm super excited. I can't really say because I have so many goals for myself, but definitely just expansion. It's
feel
just,
you.
it's takeover time, really.
It's takeover
Yeah,
time. Say it
yeah,
loud. It's takeover
yeah,
time. I love that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love it, man. I'm with you. I support you 100%. And me and Rita, we support you 100%. And I love the concept. Stick with it. This is the first year. Stick with it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be huge. You're already doing a great job. This 1 year, you're in two of the biggest malls. Obviously, Mall of America is the biggest, but two of the biggest malls outside of Mall of America in the state. So
Right,
like that,
right.
that's a big feat. You got a bunch of business owners that look up to you. That's another thing as far as a why. It's a lot of people that's looking at you that they look up to you, and if you gave up, it make it easier for them to give up. So we gotta it's a lot of what they say, the
Yeah.
heavy is the head of the, what's it called, how you say it, heavy is the crown on the head of the crown. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I can't think of it too. I don't know if it's heavy as the head and the crown or
It's
crown and
heavy.
head.
I just know it's
Yeah,
heavy.
yeah, yeah. No.
So I love that. And yeah, I appreciate everything you're doing. So last thing is, I want you to give some advice or encouragement to small business owners coming into 2022, and just let them know what they need to do this year.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Like that's just something that I've always been kind of saying to everybody too, because time doesn't really wait for anybody.
It doesn't.
Especially because we're living in a pandemic world right now, right? Like people are dropping, people are dying.
Yeah.
And just by living, like we're living and we're dying, and so like time really isn't wasting for like waiting for anybody. And if you have a goal, like do it. Like you just can't wait for anybody anymore. You can't wait for no one. You just have to do it, and you just never know. And another thing too is failure doesn't mean that you failed.
Exactly.
I think that's the most important thing too. The second, but my really advice is just do it. Whatever goals, dreams that you've been having and you've been writing, and you've been wanting to do it, this is the opportunity to do it. Like I always tell folks, like this is our time.
It's our time. If you understand,
yes, this is our time. Like the playing fields have been kind of leveled now.
It has.
Right?
Yep.
And so like big corporations are shutting down. So it's like opportunities for us small creative folks to like really get into spaces. So this is the opportunity to do it. So if you have a goal, if you have a dream, if you've been writing something down for a long time, like this is the time. Like you just got to go ahead and do it. And even if you do and you fail, failure doesn't mean it's an end all.
Yeah.
Failure just means it didn't work at that time, and then you become creative and that's how all great people are.
Yeah, you gotta get back at it. You gotta get back at it. I always tell people, you don't fail until you give up. So as long as you decide to try again, no matter how long that you stay down or in that failure, you don't fail until you give up, and that's real. DJ Khaled said he never failed because he never gave up. So like we can't fail. We just really can't. We can't fail.
I like that. I like that. Trust me, I've had moments, by myself when I'm balling. I'm at the store looking at the whole space with all my small business vendors and all their, stuff. And I'm like balling, like, is this going to really work? Like I question myself, you know what I mean? And it's like, it works, but, and I think sometimes we feel that we have this vision of what our goal is. And we haven't reached that vision, right? But we're like, yo, it's only been 11 months. It's only been a year. Yeah. Give yourself time to really like grow, fail, grow, and then you just really fine tune it. So 100%. I think that's kind of, we all go through that.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This is season 1 of the Packed House Live podcast. Hey, this is history. I'm so glad that you were able to come on. This is a great interview. I feel like I always learn so much about y'all when I'm doing these interviews. And
thank you,
man. I'm rooting for you. And like I said, I got your back. And we're gonna take it to the next level. Ain't no stopping, man. Yeah. Ain't no giving up. Ain't no hitting the brakes. It's our time.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely our time. And thank you so much, Ricky. Like, definitely opportunities that you help folks with, and you and Rita. So I appreciate y'all too. Thanks for just having me on.
No problem. All right. appreciate you. Have a good
Awesome.
night.
You too, Ricky. Bye-bye.
Yes, man. Yeah, man. Y'all heard it. Just do it. Like Nike. Just do it. What are you waiting for? Just do it. Marsha, I appreciate you coming on, man. That was really dope. She's killing it in the game for real. You know what I'm saying? Go check out the stores. It's at Northtown Mall and at Maplewood Mall. And it's all independent small business owners in there hustling. Like you can't knock the hustle. You can't knock it. Y'all gotta go support. We gotta start making sure our dollars are circulating inside of our communities. And the way to do it is to spend it with us. Okay? Go spend it with people that look like you, so we can make sure that we're helping each other out. That's the only way we're gonna win, man. For real. So this is Packed House Live Podcast, Season 1, Episode 4. Stay tuned, man. A lot more to come.